to Manifest on Purpose. My name is Kimberly Williams. I am a mindset consultant specializing in manifestation. I help you align your mindset with the things that you desire in your life to help you manifest in your life. So what are you waiting for? Come on, let's go. Let's manifest on purpose. Hello, and happy Monday. This week is going to be a great week for you. Welcome to the Manifest on Purpose Mindset Show, conversation number 6. This conversation is about why you shouldn't put your focus on self-control. I am your host, Kimberly Williams. I am a manifestation mindset consultant. I help you align your mindset with what you really want in your life so that you can manifest the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Thank you for inviting your friends and family, and thank you for subscribing here and on the website at manifestonpurpose.net. The God in me loves the God in you. The one that feels the need to control everything controls nothing at all. This is usually the jack of all trades, the master of none. On my personal journey last year, I worked on releasing control over things that I cannot change. If you are a natural born leader like I am, you may have in the past and maybe even now be noticing a recurring theme of needing to have control over your experiences, the people in your life, or self-control. I dug deep into this, into what control really is. There's a dualistic nature about everything in existence. This is indicated in the universal law of polarity. I don't believe that this means that everything is either good or bad. I believe that there are just polar opposites. Having control-related challenges is the polar opposite of being a dynamic leader. You may ask, what does that mean? That means that when you are in the highest possible frequency of influencing others, it makes you a dynamic leader. If you are vibrating on the lower frequency of influencing others, you are seeking control. A dynamic leader guides their team in a way that influences them to follow. It's not a forceful act. A dynamic leader's characteristics are as follows. They lead by example. They lead in ways that are for the good of the whole team. They respect those on the team and they take responsibility when necessary. People love a good leader because the dynamic leader puts the team before themselves. Exercising control, in my opinion, is very different. When I think of control, I feel dictator energy, while the dynamic leader expresses us and we. The one expressing control expresses me, myself, and I. They do what they believe is right without regard to the opinions expressed by the team or how it makes them feel. The controllers also compares the team by how he or she feels they should be performing. I feel that the energy connected to a controller is nothing more than resistance. It's resistance because instead of letting things naturally flow, the one that chooses to exercise control feels like they have to be the one to make something happen. You can see this in big organizations and you can see it in the personal lives of others. Resistance is an indication of struggle. Think about a time you may have decided to hold your breath for an extended period of time. It's uncomfortable, right? It's resistance. Now think about the moment you decide to let that breath go. You just let it flow. It's a relief. Don't go against the natural order of flow. Control is not what you should be striving for. Flow is what you should be striving for. When you hear or think you need self control in your life, it's the opposite of what you need. Instead of self control, you need realignment. Nothing works at its full potential without alignment. All of your organs have to be aligned for your body to function at its best. Your tires have to be in alignment for your vehicle to function at its best. Your mind has to be in alignment with what you want so that you can manifest the best version of yourself. Your thoughts just keep coming. They will, as long as you are you. Here's the kicker. They are not always yours, and they are not always the best thoughts. You trying to control them is like pointing to your mind saying, stop thinking that. You have to approach your thoughts as a dynamic leader. Realign those thoughts with thoughts that align with your purpose and your goals. That means if your mind is telling you you can't do something, just simply say, I beg to differ with you. I can do it and I will. I learned during my studies in spiritual protection that you can't take away something negative without replacing it with something better. Same thing applies with your thoughts. Let's jump into emotions here. I'm going to go deeper into your emotions in another conversation, but for today, I will briefly touch on what's relevant here. First and foremost, your emotions are not good nor bad. They are all necessary. Realign your emotions so that they are in alignment with your goals. There's no such thing as controlling your emotions. That's just like saying, hey, you emotions, stop that. Stop making me feel this way. Instead, be a dynamic leader with your emotions and gently guide them in alignment with your desired state of being. For example, if you are in an emotional state that is not serving you, back away from what's happening in the moment to find something to elevate those emotions. It is also necessary to get to know why there is an imbalance in your emotions, but don't stay there too long. Get yourself to safety first, then reflect on it later when you are in a more clear state of mind. An imbalance in your emotions can cloud your perception. There are a few ways that control can show up in your life. Listen to these ways I'm about to share to see if you recognize control in your life. The first way is to control others. Do you know that most people that are controlling in this way don't even realize it? It usually happens with the people they are closest to, the ones that they love the most. This deserves a brief lesson in passion. Passion, like everything else, also has a dualistic nature. Passion at the highest frequency can be considered deep, adoring love. But on the lower frequency, that deep love can cause someone to feel the need to control the individual that is loved. Sometimes it is a fear of losing that person. Control can also show up through the extreme need to protect someone. And if you dig really deep into that, it leads right back to the fear of losing someone. We used to have this saying down south where I'm from about money. It's something like this. Don't hold your hand closed too tight because not only will nothing be able to get out, nothing will be able to come in. What that means is keep the flow of money circulating for increase. As it relates to this conversation, don't hold on to people so tight that they can't be free. In other words, you have to let people be who they are. Allow them to make the mistakes that can teach them far better than you can ever teach them. To advance from always needing to be in control to a dynamic leader, you have to practice detachment. I know. It's that word that nobody wants to hear, but it's also a necessary word. The first way control can show up that I just mentioned merges with the second way. Control can show up in your life experiences. Sometimes you may be holding on to that person too tightly because you are trying to control their experiences. You want what's best for that person, so you try to control them through your experiences. Maybe you were betrayed in the past, and deep down you're afraid that those experiences can happen again. Or maybe you have a past traumatic experience that makes you want to protect the ones you love. Let's play a little poker here. Ooh, I love to play me some Texas Hold'em poker. When you play Texas Hold'em, you got to play the hand that you are dealt. Just your hand. Everybody is responsible for playing their own hand. Where the skill comes in is, like the country singer Willie Nelson said, you gotta know when to fold them. You have to know when to detach. Let me break down the word detach, that word that no one wants to hear. Detachment is not, I don't want to be with this person. I don't want this person in my life anymore. Detachment is not being attached to the outcome. One way to do this is to shut down your expectations. You may say that person really hurt me. Well, maybe that's a sign to stop expecting the best from that person. Expectations are not guaranteed. Expectations can actually lead to disappointment, your disappointments. Accept what you cannot change. Change what you can, and that's you. Please know that there's a purpose behind everything that happens in your life and everybody else's. Accept that by knowing ultimately things are happening to facilitate growth and elevation in your life. I like to look at this in a way that relates to traffic. You may know what it's like to be stuck in traffic. It's no fun at all. To develop patience in this area, I began to think maybe being stuck in traffic is for my protection. My higher self could be protecting me from an event that is further along the path. Learn to let your life flow. If all else fails, ask yourself, how would I feel if I were the one that is being controlled? The final way for today that control can creep into your life is self-control. This usually comes as a result of comparing yourself to others, although it is not the only way that it shows up. It can also show up as a result of perfectionism. These people usually drive themselves to be better than anybody else or to accomplish more than possible. It's also expectation based. It's what you expect from yourself. If you don't meet those high demands, you begin to feel poorly about yourself, which lowers your vibration. Be a dynamic leader in your life. Give yourself compassion. Align your mind with what you want your life to be. Find balance in your thoughts and emotions. Redirect your mind on the path you want to go in by gently guiding it in that direction. This means you not beating yourself up for everything you go through. It's putting your focus on where you want to be instead of trying to control where you are in that moment. I hope you've been listening because I just dropped some major gems today. The one that feels the need to control everything controls nothing at all. Jenny gave me that line. The opposite of that influence of control is being a dynamic leader. Needing to have control makes me think about a dictator. It's more about I instead of we. Being the controller is resistance against the natural flow of things. It's an imbalance in the ego. You could feel the need to be in control in the areas of your experiences with others, and you can also feel the need to control yourself. Manifestation is a flow. It's alignment. It is aligning your mind with what you want. It doesn't require you to take control. Be the dynamic leader, the one that guides and leads by example. If you find that you are intentionally or unintentionally controlling others, your experience, or yourself, let go of the expectations of yourself and others, and let others go and be free. If you feel the need to control experiences, know that everything happens for a reason. Learn the lesson and move on. If you feel the need for self-control, show yourself some compassion. Instead of trying to control the mind, align it with what you want to manifest in your life. Release control and bring the dynamic leader to the forefront. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose. Let's prepare for meditation. If you're driving now, is not the time to meditate. Please save this, download it for later. If you are not driving, find a comfortable, safe location, somewhere that you can relax. Focus on your breathing. Today's meditation focus is to look over the areas of your life where you feel the need to control. For today's meditation, release the control. Enjoy the meditation.